What's up YouTube, Zero here, and today I'm going to review the makeshift blueprint for the Striker 9 in Modern Warfare 3. In this video, I'll go over the attachment setup for the makeshift. I'll talk about what I like and don't like about that specific setup for the Striker 9 blueprint. Then I'll get into the camo of this blueprint that's in the top right hand corner. And I'll get into use it or lose it. Should you utilize this blueprint for the makeshift, or is it a trash blueprint and are you gonna want to kick it to the curb? Before I get into it, I do want to say if you do enjoy this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more Call of Duty content. I do a bunch of other video games, so feel free to check those out as well. Without further ado, let's get into the makeshift. If you haven't played Call of Duty in a little while, or you haven't seen the new map, Das Haus, this is it. This is a very close range map. A lot of twists and turns. You're on this high-rise pillar where they're building and setting up this new high-rise. Very chaotic, very fun close range map, but like most close range maps in Call of Duty nowadays, the spawns can be somewhat frustrating. But outside of that, it's a very fun map, a lot of action, which of course makes very well for the blueprint of a submachine gun. So without further ado, let's talk about the makeshift setup. As you can see from the overview in the top right hand corner, this setup is only going to have 3 attachments. The first one is going to be a muzzle. This is the monolithic suppressor S. What this is going to do is it's going to make your gun, your Striker 9, undetectable by radar. It's also going to enhance your recoil control. This is going to be at a cost of aim down sight speed and aim walking speed. I am a fan of enhancing recoil control on a lot of guns. A lot of guns are sometimes harder to handle, so I do love that. However, with some machine guns, damaging your aim down sight speed can be a hindrance. Some machine guns are always a little bit closer range guns, but let's see what the rest of this build does. Let's get into the barrel. This is going to be the Striker Elite long barrel. This has a lot of pluses and a lot of cons. The pluses, it's going to enhance your bullet velocity, enhance the aiming idle sway, enhance the recoil control, and enhance the damage range. This is going to be at a cost of hip fire and tac stance spread, movement speed, aim walking speed, and sprint to fire speed. So what we've done, or what the attachment setup of this blueprint has done so far, is it's made this gun a little bit, not too much, but a little bit of a more medium range gun, as opposed to your typical submachine gun. I'm gonna run around very quickly, because a lot of what has been decreased on this gun is really what submachine guns are typically known for. You're running around a lot, your movement speed is supposed to be enhanced, your sprint to fire speed, your aim down sight time, you all want that enhanced when you're running around a lot. So this is making this maybe a little bit slower paced of a gun, which, if I'm being honest, it goes into my play style a little bit more. But if you're a typical submachine gun player, it may not fit your play style as much, because if your movement speed on the map is normally a little bit quicker, you're running around a little bit more, this may not be to your benefit. But honestly, this is to my benefit. I'm able to slow it down with this gun. I'm able to utilize it over a little bit more of those medium ranges and still do pretty well with it. But finally, let's get into the last attachment, and that's going to be the optic. This is the Cronin Intellis MSP12. What this is going to do is the precision sight picture. You can see the sight on the screen. You either like it or you don't like it. It's going to enhance aiming stability. It's actually going to counterbalance that hip fire and tac stance spread that we just saw taken away from our barrel. So it's going to enhance that, and it's actually going to enhance our aim down sight speed a little bit. This is going to be all at a cost of laser visible in your aim down sight. That can be a plus or a minus. I really don't like my laser being visible when you're facing decent enemies who really do pay attention to that, they're going to notice the laser, and it's going to be a little bit harder for you to kind of hide. Now, in reality, this laser is only visible in aim down sight, so it's plus or minus. You can kind of hide in a corner. If you're playing the objective, the enemy is going to know you're there anyway. They just won't know where you are inside the objective. The laser is going to give them your exact location if you are aiming down the sight. So I'm not really a fan of the laser because, for instance, I'm playing on hardpoint. If I'm in a hardpoint and I'm hard scoping an area I know an enemy is going to come from, they know where I am. So I lose that element of surprise. There are some hard points or hardpoint areas in which there are multiple locations that you can hide. So even if the enemy knows I'm in the hard point, I can still hard scope a door, and I probably have the advantage because I know they're going to jump through that door or come through that door, so I can start shooting at them first. They may not know which corner of the room I'm hiding in. However, if I'm hard scoping with this Cronin Intellis MSP12, they're going to know where I am. They know where my laser is. They can see the angle of where my laser is. It's going to be very easy for them to pick me up so they can figure out how they want to approach it, and it gives them the advantage. So I'm not a huge fan of a laser being visible, regardless of if it's visible all the time or regardless of if it's just visible in aim down sight, especially because, again, I like to capture objectives, and even though the enemy is knowing that I'm going to be inside that objective, I still prefer to kind of have a little bit of an advantage as to where I'm in the objective, as opposed to just telling them, hey, I'm in this objective. So overall, the 3 attachments on this gun of the makeshift, I actually did enjoy. The stability is fantastic on this gun. I felt like I could fire like a laser. I could control the recoil extremely well. Overall, if you look at the statistics, the damage is enhanced a little bit, the range is enhanced a little bit, the accuracy and recoil are enhanced a decent amount. This is going to be at a cost of mobility. So this attachment setup does play into my play style a little bit more. It's not going to be as much of, hey, let me run around as much as you normally could with a submachine gun, but the gun fires extremely well. So if you're a little bit slower play style, maybe want more of the medium range combat with a submachine gun, this is going to do pretty well for it. And I did do pretty well with this gun. This is a nice attachment setup for the Striker 9. I enjoyed it. Recoil wise is fantastic. Accuracy wise is good. Increases the range a little bit so you can compete with enemies over a little bit longer of ranges. Now again, not going to be as well suited for running around play style. Somebody who is really aggressive, probably not as best for that type of play style, especially because the hip fire isn't enhanced. Your sprint to fire speed is not enhanced. Your aim down sight isn't as enhanced. Your mobility is lacking a little bit. So you have negatives on a lot of what you'd like to if you're a more aggressive play style. So overall, I do like the attachment setup. I think it's really good, especially because the recoil control is fantastic. Now let's take a look at the camo in the type right-hand corner. Again, this is all a matter of opinion when you look at camo, but honestly, when I look at this camo, it just reminds me of something out of Star Wars. This just looks like a Star Wars-esque camo. So I absolutely love it. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. So when I look at this, it reminds me of Star Wars. I'm like, hell yeah. Give me that Star Wars makeshift rifle. I love it. But let me know in the comments section what your thoughts are on this camo for the Striker 9. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you indifferent to it? If you've used this blueprint, let me know in the comments section if you're a fan or if you're gonna toss it to the curb. I like it. It's one of my favorites for the Striker 9, especially because I haven't been able to find a attachment setup that I love on this gun yet. So I do really like this, especially because the recoil control is fantastic and it suits my playstyle a little bit better. The sight is nice as well. So overall, I'm gonna recommend utilizing this. Use this, keep it in your repertoire for the Striker 9, especially if you're a slower play style but looking to utilize some submachine guns. So this is a good one. And check it out and let me know what you think in the comments section. We are getting down to the end of the video, but let me know in the comments section anything Call of Duty that you want me to review or that you want to talk about. Just comment, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Thanks for sticking around. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Again, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. It does really help out me and my channel, and thank you so much in advance for doing so. I do really appreciate it. It's my Saturday, so I'm gonna go play some Call of Duty. But hope y'all have a great weekend if it's your weekend, or if it's not, have a great week. And until next time, peace.